As a showrunner, what are you looking for when you hire writers?
Yeah. Plays well with others is one, but actually plays well with me. So I need to get really specific there. So there's two different things. First, before I meet them, I've read their scripts, and I'm looking for a style in their dialogue more than anything else. Now, I'm different in that sense because I describe myself as a dialogue-driven writer, and it all goes back to the Joss Whedon School of Writing. On Buffy, we wouldn't say, "Don't you think you're overreacting?" We'd say, "Don't you think you're reacting a little overly?" Well, nobody really talks like that, except Joss does. But you figure out a way to make your characters sound like that's how they talk. David Mamet says, "It's not my job to make you think. It's not my job to write cowboys the way cowboys talk. It's my job to make you think all cowboys talk like this." Right? And that's the difference, that when we're working on a high school show, creating our own style, that's what we would do. So I'm still looking for that kind of turns of phrase and a little bit of humor, because I'm generally either, the shows I've run have been I ran a teen comedy, I ran an animated show, 2 different animated shows that had comedy in them, and then Goodwitch, which was a lighthearted kind of dramedy-esque thing. So I'm looking for dialogue that, I'm even doing it right now, makes me lean forward a little bit as I listen to it or as I read it. Natural sounding dialogue. I'm not looking at structure as much, but a lot of people are. I'm generally only reading the first 10 pages and deciding if I want to meet the writer based on those 10 pages.
Sure.
Some of it is I know what my needs are, and I know that I think I know how to break a story. I'm not saying I'm the best. I just know that I'm efficient at it.
Yeah.
So I don't need somebody who is a really structure person. So I've read their scripts, and I know that if it's a comedy, they've made me laugh, or they at least know how to write dialogue, they know how to write scenes that keep me interested. Then when I meet them, I generally say, I get a sense of them in the first minute, as we all do whenever we meet anybody. And I generally say, I want people who are going to fight with me. I have resting writer's face, which makes it look like I'm always angry and don't like what you're saying. So I tell them that whenever you pitch to me, it's going to look like I hate what you're saying, because my mind is going to be thinking 6 or 7 steps down the road, is this going to work as a pitch? I'm always going to be trying to find what's wrong with it. It's a horrible habit. I had one writer who confronted me on it, and he tended to pitch in paragraphs. So the real idea of what he was saying was near the end of the paragraph. And he was 2 or 3 sentences into his pitch, and I go, that's not going to work. And he was right. There was something at the end that had a kernel of something that I might be able to use.
I'm glad you told me that, because I thought you were hating this whole time. Yes, that's right. So. Yeah. Well, in this case, it's true. You can judge my face, but yeah. But so I'm looking for people who will argue with me. I'm also looking for people who have a different point of view than I do. And so, Hollywood talks a lot about diversity. I'm looking for diversity of thought, diversity of worldview, diversity of experience. I will ask them about their childhood. I'll ask them if their parents fought in front of each other, because I've found that writers whose parents didn't fight in front of each other aren't very good at writing conflict. Interesting.
It's a really odd thing. And my parents fought in front of each other all the time, so it just comes naturally to me. And so I'm asking about that, and just kind of get a sense of how they're going to be in a conversation. And so I'm just asking a lot of questions about their upbringing, their childhood, their friends. It's illegal to ask about certain worldviews and politics and religion, but I try to touch on that because I want that.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not going to have politicalist conversations in the room, try to avoid that stuff, but I kind of want to know how and I try to give them the freedom to, there's no right or wrong answers to this question. I wanted different status of a relationship status on a show like Goodwitch, which is about a couple about to get engaged in season 3, and then the engagement in season 4 and get married. So I don't want I've been married for 33 years. I don't want all people that already have that experience. I'm not going to discount them if they have that, but where do you stand? I interviewed one writer who came to the meeting really well prepared, and she said that she could relate to the story because when she got married, she married a man who already had a couple of children, so suddenly she was a mom to some pre-adolescents, and so she raised them through high school years, and that was something we were dealing with in the show. That was a good thing for her to say, that the way they relate. And I also try to give them the freedom to speak badly about my work and the show, because everybody wants to come in and kind of kiss your butt and tell you what's great, and I want to know, like one show I ran that I didn't think was very good, the scripts, and I say, just so in the first 5 minutes, just so you know, I don't think this is a very good show. I'm going to try to make it less not good.
Yeah, less not good.
Yeah. So, and I'm looking for that honesty. Are people going to push back a little bit against me?